Hi everyone and welcome to See If It Helps. I'm Abhimanyu Singh Yadav, your host and founder of Peanut and the Keto Kitchen. These are some of my stories that I've created over the years and have helped me so far. Let's listen to them and see if it helps. Procrastination is good. Yes, you read that right. It's not a trait, it's not a behavior, or it's not a habit of a particular individual or certain set of people. But it is a warning system that we all have, and let's look at it how we can leverage it and use it for our benefit. We all procrastinate from time to time. आज नहीं कल करूंगा, maybe परसों करूंगा या आज मन नहीं कर रहा. We keep on putting off these things for today, tomorrow, and maybe later. So this is something very common to human beings, and it is a very fundamental trait of our human evolution. So today's story, we are going to look at how procrastination helped humans to evolve over the years and how it is one of the major pillars of human evolution. But before we move ahead, let me tell you there are two types of procrastination. One is the menial kind, wherein you would put off things like tidying up your room or putting in your taxes or maybe getting the tire fixed of your car. And so this is the kind of procrastination which is a menial one, and we don't need to worry too much about it. The next kind of procrastination, the serious kind or the sinister kind, is the one which is very important. This is when we keep on postponing things which are very important to us. It could be work related, it could be life related, and we know for a fact that that particular thing would change our life for good, but still we don't do it and we keep on postponing it day after another. So this is the kind of serious procrastination that we need to look for and understand. So let's go back millions of years to Paleolithic Earth, when three human species existed together, and today only one of them survived to become present day humans. And procrastination is one of the major reasons for that. So we'll get into that. But before that, let me tell you about those three species. One, Neanderthals. Mostly in the Europe and the cold regions of the world, they had extreme resistance to cold. They were physically more fit. They were more stronger than present day humans. Number two, Homo erectus. They were present mostly in the African region. They had high tolerance of heat. They were quite fast. They could actually hunt for days. Number three, Homo sapiens. As we all know, our ancestors. We had an average build. However, one of the major differences between the other two species and Homo sapiens was the presence of the frontal lobe, basically bigger brain, so we could do complex thinking. So let's imagine a scenario where all these three species lived nearby in different tribes. So hunting an elephant meant a lot of things. It was a matter of pride. It was a matter of food for so many tribes, men and women. So the best hunters from each tribe had a main objective of hunting the elephant back then. So let's look at tribe number one, Homo erectus. Pretty strong and had a lot of experience when it comes to hunting. They were also quite capable of thinking, but their thought process was quite linear. They had evolved from using stones to actually an axe. He was quite motivated, sharpened the axe, went ahead, head on with the elephant, but got killed. You can't kill an elephant of that size with just an axe. The second species of them all was Neanderthals. Now they were also quite bulky, and they also were creating their own weapons, right from knives to spears. They created a spear, sharpened it, and they were also quite highly motivated. So they went on with the plan of attacking an elephant with a spear with the same motivation, or I would say forced motivation by the other tribesmen, because everybody was looking forward to that elephant. Even Neanderthals faced the same issue, attacking the elephant head on with forced motivation. They could not kill it, rather they get killed. The thing to note here is they were very highly motivated by the other tribesmen that they did not stop to think. Third and the last species, Homo sapiens, our ancestors from where we have descended. So this particular individual went on, created an axe, but then he thought to himself, this is where we were different from other species, because we had a frontal lobe where we can do complex thinking, and the frontal lobe was not convinced enough with the plan. So eventually what happened that he procrastinated. चलो आज नहीं कल जाते हैं. तो कुछ दिन चलता रहा, and then he's like कि नहीं यार इससे नहीं मारना. Then उसने plan ही बदल दिया. Then he was like, okay, now I'll make a spear and maybe I can hunt from a distance and get saved from big legs of the elephant. So then he asked again, is that plan good enough? Internally. So again, same meh kind of a feeling. So again, he procrastinated for a few more days. That's when one of these days he had an epiphany, saying, why can't I hunt the elephant from the trees? And that is when he thought of bow and arrow. Yeah, arrows to मैं बना सकता हूँ काफी सारे, and I can carry it in my quiver, and I can have 10-20 arrows and sit on a tree and try and hunt an elephant. So this is when our ancestor went ahead with the plan, stopped procrastinating, finally thought, plan is good enough, let's go. Our ancestor was able to hunt the elephant, was able to do it successfully. So it's the complex thinking that attributed to human survival, Homo sapiens survival over millions of years, and to evolve into humans. So that is how procrastination actually is good, because it is a warning system telling your brain that the plan is not working or not going to work. That is when your motivation dies and your entire why becomes weak. And this is a theory by a lot of paleoanthropologists out there, one of them being Mr. John Chia, Dr. John Chia. I've put the link in the description below. Now, according to another renowned author, Carl Newport, he writes in his book that once your why of doing a particular thing is weak or non-existent, you tend to procrastinate over and over and over. Point to note here is, there's another trap of overthinking that can, delay this entire process or maybe even derail it. I've talked about overthinking in one of the other videos. There's a link ahead. You can watch that video after this. Now we have seen how procrastination actually led to human evolution through the story of our cavemen. But let's understand it properly. So procrastination is not a habit. It's a warning system. And if you keep on delaying things which really matter to you, there is something wrong. So that's where you need to understand the whole idea as a warning system. And just like any other warning system, you need to first accept it and then work on it. So let's assume the warning system of Titanic. So Titanic had a warning system of icebergs. So there were people on the watchtower looking for icebergs, and then they would ring if there was an iceberg ahead, and then based on that, the engine room would steer the ship away from iceberg. That's what was supposed to happen, which did not happen. So just like Titanic, don't ignore the warning system and understand the warning system and stay away from the iceberg. So this brings us to the final part of our video, where we talk about 3 things to remember and 3 things to do. So 3 things to remember. Number 1, procrastination is not a habit or a trait of an individual or a group of people. Rather, it's a warning system. Understand this and remember this. Number 2, procrastination happens when brain doesn't buy the idea. Basically, it's not convinced. Your frontal lobe is not convinced with the whole plan. That's why the motivation dies and you keep on procrastinating it. Number 3, also remember, Homo sapiens use procrastination wisely to understand it and improve their plans to eventually survive and supersede other human species and become humans of today. Always remember that. Now, 3 things to do. Number 1, acknowledge the fact that procrastination is neither good or bad. It's just a warning system. It is eventually going to happen to you, or it is already happening to you, and it is okay. Number 2, if it is happening to you, understand it, take a step back, realize the problem, work on the problem, and improve upon it. Number three, if it is happening, don't try to have pseudo motivations, forced motivations, or pseudo belief systems trying to attacking it head on rather than changing your plan or improving your plan. Otherwise, my dear friend, you will also hit an iceberg just like the Titanic. If you like these stories, if they resonate with you and you gain something out of it, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel and help us. Thank you all. That was my time. I'm Abhimanyu, signing off.